Yeah, I grew up a wrestling fan, and he came in the year after I got to Ohio State, and when I found out the son of the animal was coming in, it was I was a fan. I was a wrestling fan, and then we did go to a lot of WrestleManias together. I can't remember how many, but now my kids are fans. So if we can get to a wrestling event, and I can take my kids there, we try to. We went to one in Chicago. I can't remember when it was. A couple months ago. It might have been before the season, but we went to a Friday night SmackDown event in Chicago. I grew up watching. I liked it. I don't know the characters. I think at different phases you enjoy different things. When I was young, everything was real. You you know ended up thinking idolizing the Hulk Hogan's and Ultimate Warriors and all those guys. And then as I got to go to some WrestleManias with James, you got to know some of the people. And now it's about seeing your kids happy. And if my kids want to go see wrestling, as a father, I would try to do that.
Hello, hello. Welcome back to a new show, I guess. Hey, Vaughn. Hey, Matt. Hey, Matt. So I'm back here on a Monday. Hey, Rakarsha. So if you have joined me on Monday nights in the past, you are used to seeing where WWE meets pop culture. So the show actually is in a rebrand right now. The new title of the show is called Spotted, where WWE meets pop culture, more of a tagline. And basically every Monday night you can come here and I will share all of the fun wrestling news, pop culture, entertainment, music news, all the stuff that happens outside of the ring that I find interesting, all curated by me, Queen PR. So we are back every Monday night before Raw, and I will let you know what all your favorite wrestlers are up to outside of the ring. So first, just some quick check-ins, some quick updates. Matt, I was recently on vacation. I was in Mexico, Playa del Carmen, for my birthday, my 35th birthday, and had the time of my life. If you do want to ever see Mexico and you don't want to go to like Tulum or Cancun or all of like the basic um cities, I highly recommend Playa del Carmen. It is a very walkable city. Like our Airbnb was right in the middle of everything. We were able to walk to wherever we needed to walk to. There were malls, bars, restaurants. Everything was right there where we needed. So I highly recommend Playa del Carmen. I also want to shout out the girls, my sister and my two friends that I went with. We had an amazing time. And while I was there, I knew that we wanted to rebrand the show and come back the first Monday in February. But I couldn't wait any longer. Today is one of those days. It's Martin Luther King Day. But it was also like the inauguration and I had to go to work and it just freaking sucked. So I felt like today was the perfect day to relaunch Spotted. And the reason why I wanted to name it Spotted is because that's really what a lot of what I talk about is where we find our favorite wrestlers when they are not wrestling. So that can be courtside at a basketball game, at the Super Bowl, on a red carpet, all sorts of things. So I will be here to give you all of that fun wrestling tea that I have always been giving. But now the show, I feel like now has an identity, and I am so excited that all of you are here to to come and meet me here. Thank you, Vaughn. I'm very excited about 35. Hey, Krista B. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I had to bring it back today. Today it called for it. It called for some distractions from real life. Vaughn also mentioned Revolt. So I do want to acknowledge that Those Wrestling Girls flagship show with Krista B and I are officially powered by the Revolt Podcast Network. So if you have been a fan of Those Wrestling Girls all of these years and you want to help us grow, please listen to our podcast first. All of the audio links are in the bios of our social media profiles. Listen to the show, give some feedback. That really, really helps our podcast algorithm and all of the above. So I would really appreciate if everyone listened to the show to support our new partnership. Thank you, baby. I would love to know from everyone how you guys are liking the new brand. I wanted to brighten up the show. It was very, black and like pink smoke, which is, on brand for me. But I wanted to brighten it up a little bit. And I think this whole like paparazzi flash is kind of perfect because I'm going to be having my eye out on what your favorite wrestlers are up to. Hey, Justin. Yeah, a little bit of a new setup, So I want to start off with a story that my producer's going to be like, where did this come from? But I want to talk about something that came up today that I was just like, what's going on? So Lash Legend, who I've been following a lot lately because I really enjoyed her cooking show on her YouTube channel. Season 1 was amazing. If you have not checked it out, go check it out right now. The link is going to be in the description. But she got hacked today. And she was like, it looked like she was selling like naked photos for like $14. And I remember sending it to the group chat like, this can't be real, right? Because Lash got to know that her nudes are worth a lot more than $14. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, so she tweeted earlier that WWE is gonna figure out how her account got hacked. It is not her at all. So please don't, get any wrong ideas. You already know Trick was not playing that at all. So if you did see that on Lash Legends Instagram, please ignore it. Don't perpetuate the stupidity that people are putting out there for her. Yes, so she's going to caught my brother's attention. Yeah, I love that. Okay, so for today on the show, we are going to get into a new wrestling film that is starring some of your favorite wrestlers. We started the show with Notre Dame coach Marcus Freeman talking about how much he loves wrestling and his association with James Laurinaitis, who is the Animal son. So they are close. They're huge wrestling fans. And I'm really hoping that press conference of him talking about it kind of gets WWE's attention because we need to be throwing, Marcus Freeman some tickets. We love a celebrity wrestling fan. We talk about them on this show all the time. Vanessa Hudgens and West Side Gun and everyone, Topanga and everyone that was at the the Netflix on Raw debut. So I'm hoping that we see a little bit more from them, like some comp tickets, some shout outs on TV, because, we love that. But we do have a jam-packed show. I want to make sure that we are out of here just in time for Raw on Netflix. So let's get into the first story. So I want to know from all of you, Wingstop has sponsored WWE events in the past. They were a big sponsor during Survivor Series. And the reason why I remember that is because, not Survivor Series, SummerSlam. Because me and Krista was like, okay, so like, are there going to be wings at any of these events? Like, I mean, like Wingstop I see the logo everywhere, but like, are we going to be able to like eat some chicken? But they just did a post with Braun Strowman, and I want to know what your favorite Wingstop flavor is. because I am definitely a garlic parmesan girl. I will probably get that flavor anywhere. And a lot of the WWE superstars are also like garlic parmesan people. We know Dominic likes his chicken tenders like dry. And what did Ben from the Ringer say? He be raw dogging chicken tendies. So what is your Wingstop order? And what do you think is Braun Strowman's Wingstop order? Because that is a big guy. That was a big bag. What do you think Braun Strowman is eating when it comes to Wingstop? And also, what other sponsorships? So I watched this YouTube video today, and I'm not going to say the YouTube channel that it was in because they tend to be pretty negative about WWE, but it was like the 10 mistakes that Triple H is making in his new era. And one of them was it basically feeling like there are too much sponsorships. Like they're like kind of going overboard with it, like the UFC branding in the ring. How do you guys feel about WWE's use of sponsors? We see them going in the liquor route. They just sponsored Hulk Hogan's beer. Do you guys think it's too much? Do you think this is the way of the future? How do you guys feel about all of the sponsorships that WWE's been doing right now? Raw dog and tendies is hilarious. See, garlic parmesan is so good. See, it is so good. Definitely one of the best flavors for sure. Okay, so if you're not raw dogging your wings, Matt, is ranch, blue cheese, honey mustard, barbecue sauce? Let me know. What are you dipping your chicken tenders in? So I gotta agree with Vaughn here about the beer sponsorship, because it is kind of weird that Stone Cold wouldn't be the first beer that WWE sponsored. And that could be, as someone that works, in business, there are a lot of reasons why this didn't possibly happen. Like it could have been a decision made on a lot of different parts of why Broken Skull beer hasn't been a sponsor. But we've also seen it, like we have the Broken Skull sessions. Like it's not like WWE has shied away from featuring Stone Cold's beer brand. It's just it wasn't chosen to be an official sponsor. Put an emoji in the comments if you plan to drink Hulk Hogan's Real American Beer. Krista B, you are right. I mean, you need sponsors. WWE is actually not a stranger to that. Like, we've seen it over the years. Now, having it everywhere in the ring and stuff like that is definitely new. But we're in a new era right now, so it makes a lot of sense why they would do that. Oh, Brian H. Waters, they probably didn't want to give him a lot of money. If that's the case, that is very unfortunate if that is the case. But I will be doing a longer form video on alcohol sponsors and drink sponsors for the WWE, because it's a very interesting history. Justin Egan, Real American East. I love that even more so, being that today is the inauguration. But yeah, WWE sponsorships, we partner with UFC. UFC and boxing is a very sponsorship heavy business. So it doesn't surprise me that they're leaning into it a little bit more, but I am excited for more sponsors. I want more Black owned businesses to be a part of WWE. Let's go to the next study.
Brian Ortega, CM Punk, former UFC fighter and WWE superstar, is with us.
So the reason why I found this interesting, CM Punk being spotted at a UFC fight, 311 to be exact. And the reason why I found this interesting is that they refer to him as a former UFC fighter as well as a WWE superstar. And when I'm thinking of CM Punk, I'm sorry, I never think about him as an MMA fighter. I don't know how you guys feel, if you guys remember his tenure in it. I mean, I'm all for him having tried a new profession after he left wrestling for a little bit and giving it a try, because that learning MMA is not easy. Like you are getting fucking punched in the fucking face. And I love that he tried that, but I don't really think of him like that. But I mean, UFC wants to lean into it. I'm all the way here for it. I'm all the way here for it. Yeah, I guess we can't really call it a tenure. What do you have, like 2 fights maybe? How many fights does CM Punk have in UFC? 2, and I don't think he won either of them. So I guess I would call it, a failed hobby that he tried to pursue. But we love CM Punk over here. I know it's crazy that I'm saying that, but we love CM Punk over here. Yeah, he's 0-2. So I'm guessing we're not gonna see him back in the UFC ring. We'll probably only spot him just attending and having a really good time. Next, so I was excited about this particular story because Blacksmith is a UK brand and they have a lot of shops for specific wrestlers, British Bulldog being one of them, but they just launched an exclusive line with TNA. So this is exciting because of everything that is going on with TNA right now, the new partnership with WWE. We saw during their pay-per-view last night that this partnership is going to be very active. We saw Cora Jade interrupt the Knockouts champion. And I am so here for that because Mara Slamovich, right? Marsha Slamovich. I watched her wrestle so many times on the indies. Like, I've seen her wrestle in New York, I've seen her wrestle in Texas, I've seen her wrestle all different types of places. And I always remember noting like how hardcore this woman is. And because again, on the indies, there's a lot of intergender wrestling. I see more intergender wrestling matches on the indies than not. And every time she's in the ring with a guy, she is more brutal. She's more physical. She's more hardcore than the men that she's wrestling. And I remember always noting that every time I watched her, especially at House of Glory. So to see her getting the recognition that she's getting is just like so fucking dope. So having her mix it up with like Cora Jade potentially, I'm so here for that. If you watched the TNA pay-per-view last night, let me know how you liked it. Let me know how you appreciated WWE's involvement. I think Triple H and Shawn Michaels' tweet ahead of it really, really made a difference. I also want to shout out my girl Tasha Steeles, who is modeling the Blacksmith TNA merch. I also want to know what you guys think of it. Would you rock it? Would you buy it? It's giving more referee than the referee shirts now, the new ones. But I do appreciate the red and black, and I think it's a huge moment for the brand. Shout out to Joe Henry, new champion. And of course, the TNA fans were booing Tessa as they fucking should. I also would like to know from you guys, where do we see Tessa going from here? Do you see her staying in TNA? I'm praying that they kind of keep her away from NXT. Like, just keep her over there, just keep her over here. Jordynne Grace, come in, enter that Royal Rumble, do what you got to do. Okay. I would say Jordan's, that was match of the night. And I mean, no one said that Tessa Blanchard can't wrestle. Like, that's not the issue. That was never the issue. She's the first female, world heavyweight champion. Like, there's a reason why she got to that place. But, when you're a shitty person, you're a shitty person. I just don't think, your wrestling ability should ever top you being a fucking decent person. Chin Killer. Justin, keep Chin Killer away from the Rumble. So let me know how you guys feel about this merch. Do you feel like you're going to be buying it soon? Do you want to see some new designs? Like, let me know the deal. Next, we got Swerve. He participated in a celebrity golf tournament, and he was able to get pictures with 50 Cent, Travis Scott, and DJ Khaled, even though I didn't post a picture but he got photos with DJ Khaled. So this took place in Florida, as it would. It's the Mr. October Foundation Celebrity Golf Classic in Port St. Lucia, Florida, and he was joined by these celebrities and many others. The big story of that night, besides Swerve being there, of course, that's the biggest story, right? Was 50 Cent and DJ Khaled making up as friends because they've had longstanding beef. 50 Cent has beef with everybody. And it was noted that they were able to shake hands and kind of made up during the event. 50 Cent's alcohol was one of the sponsors. Sire Spirits brand was one of the sponsors for the event. And I think it's pretty cool that Swerve was there and that he was able to, meet some of these amazing people. So Swerve spotted at celebrity golf tournament. Speaking of spotted, Becky Lynch and a guest. Who saw that tweet? I don't know who tweeted it. It wasn't an official tweet, but they were like, Becky Lynch and a guest attend the Laker game. And of course, we mean Becky Lynch and her husband, Seth Rollins, was spotted courtside at the Lakers game having a good time. I love when I get to see Becky out in the wild because when she's not in the ring, she's very private. And obviously, Seth even mentioned it that she was home taking care of their daughter and taking some well-needed time off. But it's nice to see her out having a good time. And what's a better time than going to a Lakers game? Matt says Jeannie Buss hugs Seth. So for those that are not familiar with who she is the daughter of the famed Lakers owner. And I think she might be the president of the Lakers. She's the principal owner of the Lakers. She is boss bitch. I love me her, but she also co-founded Wow Superheroes on CBS. So she is connected in the wrestling world, very much so. She clearly has a huge respect for women's wrestling and being able to hug Becky Lynch's guest. Becky Lynch was so gracious to allow someone, to come with her to the game. I mean, Becky Lynch gets a +1. I mean, we love that. We love that for Seth. King Von says Roman would never. See, Roman and Seth are two different people. We don't look at them the same way. But I love seeing WWE stars at games. And the Lakers actually posted this on their social platform saying that WWE royalty was in the house. So we love to see WWE superstars getting some love. And this isn't the first time WWE stars are courtside. So if you tune in to Spotted every Monday night, I will let you know where I spot your favorite wrestlers at football, basketball games. I'm sure a lot of them will be at the Super Bowl. My team didn't quite make it into the playoffs, but we love the Ravens. We love the Ravens, and hopefully next year they will be there. So Maxine Dupree, can we make the graphic bigger than me if possible? Krista B. So Maxine Dupree recently did an interview, and she was asked who she thinks should be in a new season of Total Divas. So Total Divas have been talked about a lot lately because one, Chelsea Green is a huge fan of the Divas era. She talks about it all the time. We had a lot of the divas come back for the Netflix debut of Raw. So it's been being talked about a lot. And I think it just makes sense that there could possibly be a new season of Total Divas just because the Netflix deal, more women are involved. There's a lot of high profile people that are involved in WWE right now. So it just kind of makes sense. Why not bring this show back? And it was super popular. I also want to note that she said that, Total Divas is what made her fall in love with WWE. And she is not the only woman to say that, by the way. So she says she thinks that it's easy who would be in the new, it's easy to figure out who would be in the cast of a new season of Total Divas. So she says Kathy Kelly, Chelsea Green, Tiffany Stratton, Nia Jax, and Sonya Deville. So a lot of these, the people that she mentioned have already been on the show. Nia Jax, Sonya Deville have actually been on the show the later seasons, including Maxine thinks that she should be on the season 2. But I want to know from you all right now, who is in your dream cast of Total Divas? If Triple H was like, I want you to book the new cast of Total Divas, who are you putting on the show? Now think about it. This is reality TV, so they got to be interesting. They got to be spicy. A lot of times, if they're in a relationship, that also helps. But I want to know from you guys, who are you casting in the new season or reboot of Total Divas? And how likely is it that we get another season of Total Divas? I want to know. I want to know from all of you. All right, so Brian H. Waters says Jakara and Lash. I am so here for that because they are super, super funny and entertaining and hot. Kalani Jordan and Lola Vice. Okay. Lola Vice, I think, is interesting because she used to be an MMA fighter. I don't know if she was in the UFC. I think she was just in Bellator. But I think that would be interesting because she can talk to kind of existing in both of those worlds, especially with USC being like a partner with WWE. So I think that's a good one. So keep putting your cast in there because we'll talk about them throughout the show. Rakarsha says Natty, Naomi, okay, Total Diva OGs. Bianca, Chelsea, Maxine, and Lash. Yes, Krista B, yes. You cannot talk about Total Divas without bringing back the OGs. And by OGs, we mean Natty and Naomi. Jada Parker, okay. That is interesting. Nia Jackson, Naomi, yeah. So I say have a mix of the OG Total Divas cast and some of the newbies. I think would be absolutely perfect. So this is something that we are going to revisit a lot because I also want to do a Total Divas rewatch because I have not watched it in a few years and I think it would just be so funny and so nostalgic. The fact that I'm talking about something as nostalgic that like came out like 10 years ago, I'm like, how old am I? Like what the fuck? But yeah, leave an emoji in the comments if you would like to see Total Divas make a grand return. Next, we got Freddie Prinze Jr. So Freddie Prinze Jr. is a really passionate wrestling fan. And a lot of people, I don't know, I'm going to say a lot of people don't know, but he actually was a writer for WWE for a hot second. He was on one of the A&E shows, the one about the feuds. So he's very much involved in wrestling. He very much loves wrestling. And he has recently been wanting to start his own wrestling promotion. He has a podcast right now as well, where he talks about his experience in the wrestling business. And he's been hitting some roadblocks when it comes to opening this promotion. He has been shopping it around to different networks. But he's saying he has to go back to the drawing board. He's not getting a lot of reception. He's thinking he might have to adjust the strategy a little bit, the format of what this wrestling promotion would even be like. Would it be like 52 weeks a year? Would it be half a year? Would it be seasons? Would it be a traveling house show? Like, he's still trying to figure out exactly what that wrestling promotion can be. And I have a lot of feelings about this because I know people that, shout out to Janelle from Jobber Tears, for example, and Battle Club Pro that hosts Jobber Sam every year. I know how hard it is to put on a wrestling show, a one-off wrestling show. I know how hard that is. I know how expensive it is. I know how many moving parts there is to make it happen. So I just don't see it being feasible right now, like to start a whole new wrestling promotion. And I would love to know your all thoughts on that. I think what he should do is try to get in on like TNA, like brands that are already kind of thriving that can use a little bit of star power, that could use a little bit of help that, the high profile that Freddie Prinze Jr. can bring to the table. Because I just don't think a new wrestling promotion is kind of like where it's at. And I love Freddie Prinze Jr. He's a really, really nice guy. He has a huge respect for wrestling. So I really do hope that he can make it work, or at least channel his love for wrestling somewhere besides his podcast. I want to address this comment from Rakarsha. I do hope that Bianca and Montez's show Love in WWE get a second season. I haven't heard anything just yet, because last year this time is when they were really advertising it heavy because it was premiering in February. So I do feel like if there was going to be a season 2 coming up, it would have came out already, or we would have heard rumbles about it already. But it's never too late. Like with the Netflix deal, that nothing now is linear, like, or traditional when it comes to like show releases. Like usually it's like, okay, this show premiered in September, so we know next year it's going to premiere in September. Like all of that is kind of out the window with streaming. Like all the rules for like television are out the window right now. So who knows? Just because it has season 2 hasn't been announced yet does not mean that we will not get a season 2. So if you do want to rewatch and watch Love in WWE, Brian H. Waters and I did a review on the show. We binged it and immediately recorded a recap review on it, and it's on Those Wrestling Girls YouTube channel. So go check that out if you have not already. But yeah, so Freddie, good luck. I really do hope that you are able to create this, whatever you want to do in wrestling. I do hope that you're able to kind of hone in on it, and we will be right here to support you.
The greatest living pro wrestler, a singular artist discussing his one-of-a-kind work, detailing how he transformed wrestling as we know it, from the minds of an award-winning author and a podcasting kingpin. More than 25 hours with a live microphone talking about the matches and promos that made him the era of the Hitman, coming in 2026 from ECW Press.
Bret Hart, who proclaims he is the greatest living wrestler, is coming out with a new book. I am very excited about this because I thoroughly enjoyed Bret Hart's book, Hitman. The Cartoon Life of a Wrestler, I think is the tagline. Read it 3 times. I'm probably going to read it again soon because I just get that urge. I talk about his book all the time. It really is a history of wrestling because he talks about everything that his father did as a wrestler, and then he talks about growing up with his father owning Stampede Wrestling, opening the dungeon, training wrestlers and stuff like that. Like, and then his time as Bret Hart's time as a tag team wrestler, as a singles wrestler. It's a really, really, really good book. It ends, the story wise, I think it ends in like 2005. So there's still a lot of things that Bret Hart has done in the business that he hasn't talked about, that he can still write a book on. However, this book, The Era of the Hitman, is going to be released in 2026. And it is chronicling his journey as a singles wrestler, him overcoming a lot of the obstacles, his size and the Hogan era, and how he was able to kind of etch out his own legendary career as a singles wrestler. Jonathan Snowden and John Pozorowski, I apologize if I butchered the pronunciation of his last name, announced it a couple weeks ago, and they said they spoke to Bret Hart for over 25 hours about his singles run and really went into a deep dive about it. And that is what this book is about. So we can expect it to be released in 2026. So please let me know if you are excited about this, if you are like, oh my god, like what else can Bret Hart talk about in his singles run. I am so excited about it. I think, if Bret Hart wants to release book after book after book after book about his career, I'm going to read every word of it and not even like give a fuck. I think you mean his first book. He was still beefing with Shawn Michaels when he wrote his first book. Absolutely. I don't think he fully got over it yet. So it would be nice to see from, some years have gone by and hear him talk about these times. Um, yeah, I can't wait to read that. Brett deserves to put Hogan in a sharpshooter. And I don't think we will ever thirst to see like Bret Hart talk about how much he hates Goldberg because he talks about it at least once a week. And I'm one of those people, like, I'm not gonna do the whole Bret is bitter thing, because if I was him, I would probably be just as bitter as him. The longest the longest beef in wrestling history. Granted, it is so deserved. Okay. So I'm thinking maybe book club for this Bret Hart book. I know we still got to do one on Becky's book. I tried to listen to Rhonda's book. I will get back to that. But I also want to make sure that we touch on this Bret Hart book, because him becoming a single star is a really big deal. I know he talks about how much is a big deal a lot, so we kind of forget that it is, but he really did push through in an era in WWF where he was not meant to be the main guy, and he definitely became the guy. So shout out to Bret Hart. Shout out to ECW Press, who will be publishing this book next year. We will be buying that. Triple H recently, well, not Triple H, I guess you could say WWE, but at this point, WWE is Triple H. I like to talk about the trademarks that WWE filed, because it really gives you a clue into sort of like what they're thinking, and what direction they're going in when it comes to like big ideas. So WWE recently submitted trademark applications for The Game. And you would think that that was already trademarked, because it's like one of Triple H's like main nicknames. Sam Stoker, I don't know, Malik Blade, Brooks Jensen. So those are probably names for future superstars. So maybe NIL athletes that finally got a name, and now they want to trademark it, which I'm speculating. But what I really wanted to touch on, and why Lash is photographed here, is that he's trademarking Lashing Out with Lash Legend. That is huge, because that means that they see dollars and Lash Legend. That's the only reason why you trademark something, is protect it so that you can make money off of it. So I'm hoping that this means a big push for Lash. I hope this means that they'll support her YouTube channel. I hope that they, just want more for her, because I just see so much. And who knows, her and Jakara might be our new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions soon. Like, they have a championship match coming up. So this could be the start of something huge for Lash Legends. So that's why I really like to talk about these trademarks. A little bit more of description of for the trademarks is entertainment services, namely wrestling exhibitions and performances by professional wrestler and entertainer, rendered throughout broadcast media, including television, radio, internet, commercial, online services, wrestling news, global computer network, blah, 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 blah. So basically, big things are coming for these things, and I hope that Lash Legend is a big part of that. What do you guys think these trademarks mean? What direction do you think these are going into? Vaughn, this is not nice. Glad they trademarked Lash and not Nikita Noni. Oh my God, that is not nice. We are all positive here on Spotted, and yeah, we're not going to do that. Jeff Hardy, one of my favorite people in the universe, recently did an interview where he talked about his sobriety journey. We know Jeff Hardy has struggled with his sobriety over the years, over his career, with drugs and alcohol. He's been in rehab a couple times. But he recently did an interview. He's been sober for a while, and he has a newfound perspective on it. And he basically said that he started journaling in rehab, because he figured, like, what's the bigger purpose of all of this? You know what I'm saying? Like, how can I help people? So he started journaling, and he hopes to release a memoir of these journals of his sobriety journey, of his career in wrestling, to hopefully inspire and motivate people that are in his position to help them get sober. And I think that's such a really, really, really huge thing for Jeff to do, because most people are really private about these struggles that they've had. He's had headlines written about him, and a lot of speculation on when he left WWE in 2021, and then he, got arrested right after, and then AEW released him. And there's been a lot of speculation on the later part of his career. And I love that he is now in a place where he's comfortable talking about it. And not only that, but he's also comfortable in channeling that and wanting to help other people. And I think that is like really, really, really cool. So I will be on the lookout for that, and trying to find out any information regarding this. If it does become a memoir, you will hear it all here first. Hey Patrick, thank you so much. It is still my birthday. It is still Capricorn season, all of January. I don't give a fuck. 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 So thank you very much. I will be accepting birthday greetings for the next 2 weeks. But yes, Patrick, journaling is a very, very good technique. It's definitely something that I need to get back into. And I'm glad that Jeff is seeing that as being helpful as well. And Jeff Hardy is very artistic. He's very creative. He's an artist. He's a musician, and in addition to being a wrestler. So I think him being able to express himself in that way really comes second nature to him. And if he's able to help people in the long run, I'm all the way here for that. Action Bronson is a rapper, and he is another celebrity that is a huge wrestling fan. And he had a really big angle on AEW with the FTW title. He was recently on the Ariel Helwani show, and he talked about how he kind of expected to do more with AEW after that angle, and nothing really kind of came of it. But he's always ready to get into the ring. He said, when asked about potentially going to WWE, he says, Bad Bunny, come on, Travis Scott, we have history. These motherfuckers don't know how to wrestle. I wrestled. I sold out the motherfucking Arthur Ashe Stadium. I was ready to frog splash off the top, but they didn't want to take the bump. They didn't want to take the face buster. I got all kinds of videos. So basically, Action Bronson is saying, like, I showed up in AEW. I was ready to wrestle. Like, I was ready to do what I got to do in the ring, but AEW didn't really know how to use him, I think. But then, he actually has to see like Bad Bunny and like Logan Paul actually coming in and actually wrestling, actually, doing spots, having real matches. I'm pretty sure he's getting that itch. Like, wait, I want to do more. He says he threw a little lure out there to WWE. He doesn't want to just wrestle anywhere. He wants the spotlight. He wants to go there. He even talked about wrestling in like GCW possibly. He doesn't want, to do that crazy shit, the hardcore matches, but he wants the lights. He wants to know how it feels to be a sports entertainer. And I like Action Bronson. I think his cooking show is hilarious. And his personality seems like it can really mesh well with the wrestling business. So hopefully Triple H and Shawn Michaels, are listening, and maybe you can see what Action Bronson can do in the ring. If you see Action Bronson in the ring at WWE, let me know. What do you see him doing? Who do you see him working with in the future? Hey, I am good. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for everyone for coming through tonight. We do have some more stories that we're gonna get through. Next. Speaking of Bad Bunny, one of my favorite people in the universe, he just released his new album that is getting so much traction everywhere. It is so popular everywhere, especially for his home of Puerto Rico. He's sold out like countless shows. He's doing a residency. Like, we are all back in the Bad Bunny world, and I love it so much because even I like that one single. And the thing with Bad Bunny is, like, I don't have to understand what he's saying, but he just makes such good music, and you just feel it, that it doesn't matter. Like, even the album cover for me just it makes me feel connected to him in some way. But you know who else is feeling the album? Triple H. He tweeted recently, "Congrats on the new album. After listening, I can see it clearly. New tracks echo through the stadium while you make your way down the aisle to the ring. Epic. Talk soon." Now, as we know, Bad Bunny recently did an interview saying that he is not done with wrestling, okay? He wants to put his life on the line. He says that he didn't even do most of what he wanted to do when he had that wrestling match in Puerto Rico. Like, he wants to do more. And I'm pretty sure that we will give him some space to fucking do that. And Bad Bunny was a great athlete, great wrestler. So I'm ready to see him back. If you're ready to see Bad Bunny back in WWE, let me know now. Again, yes, Booker T. He did this, Bad Bunny did a song called Booker T, had Booker T in the video. So he is all about this wrestling hip hop merger. Like, Bad Bunny is all about it. So I'm excited to see what more he does in WWE, especially with Triple H saying, you know, talk soon, and congratulating him on that album. If you listen to Bad Bunny's new album, let me know what you think about it in the comments. Let me know what you rate it from, like, you know, up to 5 stars. Like, I want to know. What do you guys think of Bad Bunny's album? Yeah, Justin says we need Benito back in the WWE ring. Yes, we do. Yes, we absolutely fucking do. Yeah, Bad Bunny, Damian Priest as a tag team again would be dope, especially now that Damian Priest is a little bit more on Bad Bunny's side. But yeah, I love that. So I think we just have one more story left tonight. And it's something that I'm really, really, really excited about. So let's play it.
Oh, honey.
I had that dream.
Only dreams that we make come true, are we? We're gonna wish away all those bad thoughts.
1, 2, 3.
I promise you, my son, our lives together will be special.
Where's your little boy's father, anyway?
Mister, I ain't gonna marry no circus freak.
He done let me over this.
Billy Wolf! I'm really curious to see what you can do with her.
You barely know him. He's the only man that's ever believed in my dream.
We got a job to do tonight. You go out there, you wrestle your heart out.
We can headline arenas. I know that we can.
I want to talk to you about putting 2 of my girls on your card.
My main event is heavyweights and then main.
Why would anyone want to limit the spectacle of competition based on gender?
Looks like we're cleaning up every night of the week now. It's got me thinking, Billy.
I want us secure as equal partners.
Then do what's right for business.
Honor the deal or we shoot.
You will do what I say, or you will find yourself cleaning toilets in some arena after my show comes through.
Ma, all the tickets you 2 ever sold had your name on them, not his.
Mr. McMahon, how can I get a guarantee that my ladies can wrestle in the state of New York?
Let's show them how we do it in the South.
Come on, Mom, get up. Remember, 1, 2.
I'm actually the highest paid female athlete.
In Washington, in history.
Ooh! So the Queen of the Ring film trailer just recently dropped, and it is a movie about the legendary Mildred Burke. So I want to talk about how she talked about how she's the highest paid female athlete in the world. So she is one of the first female athletes to make $1 million. So she was wrestling in the 40s and 50s. So $1 million, y'all, is a lot of money. And she also did it as a mom. She raised her son on the road. She worked under Billy Wolf, who, if you know, was like the worst type of person. So the fact that Mildred Burke was able to become a star regardless of all of these things, like, just mean so much to me. So being able to see this like movie being made about her is so dope. But why I wanted to talk about this movie, not only because it's about one of the most legendary women's wrestlers in the world, and her story is getting told, it's also another mainstream movie about wrestling. We had what's the one about the Von Erichs? The Iron Claw come out where people were thinking like that was gonna be like nominated for like an Oscar, and you had like really heavy hitters in it. So you have a lot of heavy hitters in this movie, but what you will notice is some familiar faces in this film that is coming out in March. Toni Storm is in this movie. Camille from AEW is in it. Britt Baker and Naomi. Naomi plays Ethel Johnson, one of the first legendary Black women wrestlers. She plays Ethel Johnson. I couldn't find photos of her just yet in the movie. I'm still reaching out to the film to get some exclusives, but Naomi is in this film as Ethel Johnson. Britt Baker plays Debbie Nichols, a prominent women's wrestler during that time. Toni Storm plays Clara Mortensen, who eventually went on to Hollywood and became a famous actress. And it kind of makes sense of how Toni Storm was able to tap into her timeless Toni character by playing in this film. And Camille plays June Byers, who was one of Mildred Burke's like legendary feuds and rivalries back in the day. So, excuse me. So seeing actual wrestlers in this film, and that's very important because it really adds to the authenticity of the film and what you're really trying to get out of it, and it shows that the filmmakers care about how it fits within the wrestling industry. This isn't just a film, like they really wanted to do it just do. Jim Cornette plays NWA commissioner in there, so that adds some more, because he is a walking wrestling historian, so having him a part of the film also adds a lot to it. So I'm very excited for Queen of the Ring. The preview does look amazing. The photos from it look amazing. If we can make it a little bigger so people can see Toni Storm, Camille in it. And this is just big. This is huge, guys. Like, this is so big. I'm surprised AEW isn't talking about it more. Like, you would think they would be talking about it more, being that especially Toni Storm being a part of this and her character being so closely related to what she played in AEW. You would think that they would talk about it more, but that's why you got to come to see me on Monday nights for Spotted, because I will be the one to give these ladies their props. I cannot wait to see Naomi as Ethel Johnson. I can't wait to see those photos. And I think this film is going to be amazing, and telling the story of this wrestler. They tried to, as you've seen in the preview, they tried to erase her history because she took control of her career and she wasn't taking no at all. Like, she was going to become a star. She raised her son on the road, as you can see in the trailer. Like, she is legendary. She's iconic, and I cannot wait to see this film. If you are excited to see this film, please let me know in the comments. Yes, Toni Storm definitely deserved it. So I was thinking too, like, for those based in New York City, like if we wanted to do like a group like movie date kind of thing, or we all went to go see it together on opening night, I think that could be really cool, just to boost this up, because I want to make sure that people are are aware of who Mildred Burke is. I want this movie to do well. I want people to go see it. The trailer looks fucking awesome. And we're supporting women's wrestling on this large scale. We're also supporting, you know, some of our favorite stars like Toni Storm, Camille, Naomi, Mickey James plays the fabulous Moolah. And I only know that because I was scouring IMDb. So there is so much more that is going to come out about this film. And if you want to know all of it, then you got to come see me every Monday night, because I'm going to be keeping a lookout on all of the updates for this film. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Sweet Georgia Peach. Okay, that's very interesting. Also, shout out to Naomi just getting acknowledged and getting these like high profile opportunities. Like, I am so here for this. But and she is, I think, has potential to definitely cross over and do more with the Netflix deal. Like, there's so much out there. On another note, I know Alexa Bliss is going to be doing some more voiceover work. Nikki Bella also announced some more voiceover work for Netflix. So there's going to be a lot of entertainment news that your favorite wrestlers are going to be a part of. And that is why I'm here. I'm going to be bringing you all of that fun wrestling news that your favorite wrestlers are up to outside of the ring. I want to thank everyone that joined me tonight. It feels really good to be back here on Monday nights. It is 8 o'clock. I want everyone to go over to Netflix and watch Raw. Catch me every Monday night here, right before Raw. And make sure you follow those wrestling girls everywhere. And I will see you all next week.